am having an affair, a beauty affair. On my journey through slowing down the effects of aging, I am jumping into rabbit holes and blasting my way back out with knowledge that I want to share with you. Come follow my journey, learn with me, and let's get younger together. Hello, beauties. Thank you for joining me on this very first episode of Beauty Affair. I am Lindsay Aliseo, your episode mistress. I am so excited. And you know what I'm actually going to do right now? Because I just realized all you're going to hear the entire episode is this. So we'll take that off. I am really excited for you guys to join me for the season. Hopefully you follow along. Subscribe. I have curated some amazing episodes for you. I have great topics for you. And I poured my heart and soul into this. And I hope that shines through. I'm sure it will. But I really hope that shines through. And you guys can see that with every episode and every topic that I bring you. I'm a little passionate. So this is going to be a fairly simple episode. I am kind of just want to do a little welcome. And I want to give you the what can you expect, who can you expect, and why. The reason for the season. Why is Lindsay Aliseo doing a beauty podcast? Who am I? Why am I doing this? And that's like really the biggest thing why we're here. So it all started with lashes. And the lashes are actually such a minute part of the entire story and the podcast itself. But of course, it starts there. So back in, let's see, what was the year? I have it written down so I wouldn't forget because I have a couple of years that I want to talk about. So back in 2018, after, 15 years or so of wearing lashes, getting them done, going to, oh my God, back when I first started, I want to say about 15 years ago, 16, 17 years ago, I used to go to this less than desirable place, nail salon, and sit over the nail chair, whatever you want to call it, the nail table where they do your nails. And she would literally, you close your eyes and she would drop in clusters. I'm sure I don't have to tell you how disturbing that is and how unsanitary that is. But yes, that's where it all started. And a lot of people, this was like the only place around that did it. So after that, I started doing I found another nail salon that was cleanly. It had the room in the back. You lay down, a better situation. Still doing clusters, took about an hour to do. But I loved it. They lasted about 2 weeks. And the only thing that I didn't like was I wasn't loving the shape. I wasn't loving the fact that cluster falls out, you have a hole in your lashes. And now I have to run back to there's a couple places on Long Island, and I have to find time to run back and get it fixed before I have an event. It's totally inconvenient. And again, I wasn't really a big fan of the shape because it was never like perfection. Fast forward, nowadays, there's lash bars everywhere. And I did try that. They do the individuals. They're all trained. They're all clean. But I still didn't love it. It still didn't do it for me. If I got holes, if you had, some fall out, your lashes are falling out with it. And I still wasn't loving the shape at all. Nobody could do exactly what I wanted. Excuse me. So I started with teaching myself how to do clusters. And again, wasn't loving the shape. Then I found strip lashes, which are the beginning of lashes. Back to the beginning. Here we go. And I started doing those. And at first, of course, it wasn't that easy, but I learned. And after a couple times, you perfect it. And I kept on doing it, and I did it all the time. And I loved that I got the shape that I wanted. But after a certain amount of time, I realized that the lashes I'm buying at these drugstores were like junky. And they really didn't look as gorgeous as I wanted them to look. They didn't look as natural as I wanted them to look. And born was Aliseo Lashes. Back in 2018, I started designing and doing my research on manufacturing. And last year, April of 2021, I launched my very own strip lash business with my very own product. So here we are now. And by the way, I am wearing today Lindsay Lash. Of course, I had to wear the one named after myself. Lindsay is luscious and lovable. She gains volume as she fans out to the ends in a beautiful butterfly wing. If you know me, you know I love my butterfly wing lashes. So I'm wearing Lindsay Lash today. And you can find my lashes at aliseolashes.com, ALISEO lashes.com. And don't forget your viscosity clear liner, which you use to attach the lashes to your lash line. Back to how this all got started. While I was getting ready to launch Aliseo Lashes last year, January of last year, I had a major seborrheic dermatitis flare on my face. So for those of you watching on YouTube, you will have seen in my intro that the beginning, I look like I have a Fu Manchu, but that's my skin, and that's the irritation on my skin, and I had all irritation up here. Excuse me, I'm taking a sip of my water. Be right back. No, just kidding. So you'll see that I had a bit of a transformation, and that is, those pictures were during that flare last year. And what is seborrheic dermatitis? Seborrheic dermatitis is a chronic skin disease that has no cure. It is horrific. It is painful. It is ugly. It is itchy. And trying to find relief is the only thing you can think about when you have a flare. Anybody that has eczema, any type of dermatitis, eczema, seborrheic, perioral, anybody who has knows exactly what I'm talking about, because they are all under dermatitis. They are all a type of eczema, and it's not fun. It's really not. It all started back, I want to say it was like 2 years after I had my daughter, my last child. This all started, and I started getting these rashes and these bumps, and excuse me. And I went through a few dermatologists, and I was first diagnosed with POD, perioral dermatitis, and I was treated as so. She gave me a 2-step prescription. The first step was like, it had like a pad at the top, and you put it on, almost like an astringent, like an alcohol-y type thing that dries you out and, I don't know, cleans it. I don't know what it was supposed to do. Second step was a cream that you put on. After about 2.5 days, 3 days, my skin was so inflamed and raised and itchy and raw, I couldn't leave the house. I was in so much pain, and I just couldn't put it back on. And I called the dermatologist to find out, like, what's going on. And I was told, oh, well, it'll get worse before it gets better. Like, really? Really? Nobody told me that? Nobody wanted to, like, let me know that I was going to have, wasn't going to be able to leave the house, and I was going to be in a lot of pain from a medicine that you're prescribing to fix my skin. So number one, this is when I realized you need to ask questions. You can't just walk into the doctor's office, the dermatologist, and say, fix it, give me a prescription, and walk out. Why are you giving me this prescription? How many other patients have you treated? Were they all cured? Did it help them? Ask the questions. And what can I expect from this? You need to ask the questions all the time. You cannot trust that, because here's the thing. Most likely, and a lot of times, a pharmaceutical rep walks into their office that is not licensed. I mean, some of them do have licenses, but most of them don't. And they're pushing a product onto the doctor that they went through a seminar for, and they learned everything they could, but they're not licensed. They're just repeating what they learned. And now they're a good salesperson, and they sold the doctor on that prescription, and now the doctor's trying it on you. So it's up to you to ask the questions. My bad. I didn't ask the questions. I ended up trying a couple of different doctors. After that episode, it was actually a few weeks before my 40th birthday party and a gala that I was actually planning. So I had to take a rest. I had to just go back to the steroid cream. And if you know, we'll get into it. That helped settle it. And I took a break for a while. I didn't put any outside products. I don't use soap, just cleaning with water, not putting any anti-aging or anything in that area, and always having a little bit of something on my face that had to be covered with makeup, which I hated putting makeup on it, but it just always, it never went fully down. It flared bad sometimes, but it never fully went down. And it was always a game of managing what I had. So let's fast forward again to January 2021. After I had done this a few times, I had tried a few things. I ended up realizing I knew that steroids are not the answer, that steroids are given most of the time for dermatitis to manage. But here's the thing. Steroids, actually, using a steroid cream on your face, your skin is becoming addicted to the steroid cream, and it potentially can, and for myself and so many other people that I know that have dermatitis, the moment you stop using it, you will have a bad flare. And I decided that since I was in a bad flare and I was already a few days into it, and into not using the steroid, I decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop using the steroid, and this is the time I'm going to move forward. I can't live like this anymore. And I did. It took me a good 4 weeks to get rid of the seborrheic dermatitis that round, and it was the longest by far. Usually it's about a week long. 4 weeks of agonizing, horrific pain on my face. I couldn't scratch. I couldn't even touch like this. Oh my gosh. I couldn't, if anything just grazed my face, I was screaming in agony. It was miserable, and there's nothing I can put on it. Imagine having like super dry skin. All your skin wants is that like drink a whole glass of water, and I couldn't put anything on it. So I started doing research, and I said, I'm taking matters into my own hands. And I did. And this is when the rabbit holes started. And I've been jumping from rabbit hole to rabbit hole ever since. But seriously, that's when it all started. And I started doing all my research and figured out that reading ingredients, figuring out what ingredients worked, what didn't. And then I started realizing that a lot of ingredients in a lot of personal care products and cosmetics will tell you that they have natural, or let's say lead you to believe. So let's say you have hyaluronic acid as listed in an ingredient in your face cream. What you don't know is the methodology that the hyaluronic got. How did the hyaluronic acid get there? Most likely it is synthetic, because to pull hyaluronic acid out of natural places, you're usually taking it from an animal, which is like a rooster's comb. Comb, is that what they call it? Like the thing that he has on the top of his head. They literally suck it out of there, or they take it from, ready for this, out of a cow's eye. So most likely your hyaluronic acid is not natural, it is synthetic. But now synthetic means, what is the methodology that brought it to how did it get there? How is it made? And that means they're all created differently. So I started going down these rabbit holes, and I found we'll call it a substance that is natural to the earth that I sourced and got from China. I know, don't judge. And I'm not going to tell you what that substance is at this very moment, because I actually am creating a skincare line with it. I'm a year into the testing. It's Not coming out anytime soon, at least another year, if that. But I do have an NDA signed, so I can't really talk about it. But I can tell you I started also making my own serums, using like all natural extra virgin avocado oil. I started using grapeseed oil. I started using, I sourced a beautiful vitamin C powder. Again, there's so many things, that went into all of this. So don't just like source your own vitamin C powder and then put it in your stuff, because there's a lot that goes into it. You can always ask me, I will tell you. But I started making my own serums. I started making my own products to use, my own hair masks. I have a toner. My husband loves the toner. My husband actually tells me that his face stays dry all day long. Like he doesn't have, he doesn't notice any like peeking through, oil spots in midday. He's noticing a big difference, which makes me so excited. Anyway, that's where everything kind of started. So I changed my skincare routine once my flare, and by the way, the substance that I will not mention, that shall not be mentioned, is actually the reason that my skin stopped. Like I within 2 days, the flare went away. After 4 weeks, it was like this, boom. After that went away and I had nothing raised anymore, which never happens, I started getting Broadband Light BBL Hero treatments with Sharon Grasso from Permanent Touch Cosmetics, who happens to be the most talented woman in that industry. She has been doing BBLs the longest in this area, and she is the only person I trust to do my BBL. And the combination of my skincare being changed and the BBLs, I have not had a single breakout in over a year. Thank you, Tyler. So Tyler is my producer, by the way. Hi, Tyler. How are you? He doesn't have a mic. But yeah, so that's where all of this started. That is my why. I hope that my passion is showing through, because it changed my life when I started researching all of this stuff. And like, I'm not a crunchy person, and I will probably say this multiple times, because this is not a crunchy podcast. I just want to make sure that that what I'm putting on my face is safe for my face, and that I never, after experiencing what I experienced, I never want to experience that again, and I will make sure that it doesn't happen again. So that's why we are here. But listen, beauty is personal. Hashtag BIP. Give me, if you're going to hashtag me, give me that hashtag BIP. Beauty is personal. So that's super important to remember while you are visiting me here with Beauty Affair, while you're listening in or watching on YouTube, because what works for me may not work for you, may not work for the person sitting next to you. We all have our own custom-made beauty wardrobe, our own custom-made cosmetic and personal care wardrobe, if you may. And the treatments, services, and procedures that you may need or want, could be different than mine. So while I may have, you know what? Let me say this, because this is actually very important to jump into. While I may have influential topics, it's necessary for me to mention that I do not have any licenses, certifications, or degrees. I am simply a customer or a client and a test beauty. I am your test beauty. But because of my skin disease, and that I am married to my skincare that I am working on, and Sharon Grasso's BBL, it works for me, and I don't need to do anything else. I still want to be able to bring you other options, because what works for me may not work for you. So I do have waiting in the shadows, test beauties that are waiting for me to send them out or try products that I can't do myself. So if you own a beauty business, hopefully on Long Island, but really anywhere in the tri-state area, Long Island is best, and you want myself or my test beauties, and I have different skin types, to come and try out one of your services or treatments, I would love to send them. And then come back here and talk about it on the show, on Beauty Affair. We could even do a little live and do it in, hello, guys, don't forget, if you're not in my private Facebook group, it's Beauty by Aliseo, Long Island Lash Queens. Jump in there. It's my private Facebook group. I do all sorts of stuff. We do everything beauty. We test stuff. We, we test different things. I ask a lot of questions. I do some lives from different places. So definitely jump in there. But if you own your own beauty business and you want us to test something and you want us to come down and do a live in the beauty group, I would love to do that. Shoot me a DM, a PM, an email, and you can find all the links below. So yeah, test beauties are ready to go. I'm ready to send them out, ready to launch them. Sorry, I am getting over a cold, so yeah, I'm a little nasal and a little coughy, but the world has to keep on spinning. So I want to get into as well where my information comes from. And hold on, let me take, you know what? On that note, I'm going to take a sip of my water, and we're going to do a little commercial break. Then we can talk about that. Beauty Affair, a chic hip-hop brunch with over $10,000 in beauty giveaways, featuring celebrity guest Sonja Morgan. Guys, I have a mimosa bar, a Bloody Mary bar. There's going to be a beautiful brunch buffet, and it all starts at noon on May 22nd. Get your tickets now. VIP tickets mean you can hang with Sonja. BeautyAffairLI.com. I'll see you guys soon. Between Tyler and I, my producer, we're both coughing and lots of stuff going on. We are not giving each other COVID, I promise you that. But please excuse all of the coughing. So that was my Beauty Affair, the event. I really hope I have Miss Sonjarita coming, and she's super excited, as am I. I have a few VIP tables left, and a VIP table gets you to sit with Sonja. I have a bunch of the reserved seating tables left, so get in there as of now. Get in there, get your ticket, BeautyAffairLI.com. Back to what we were talking about before. Excuse me again. Before the little commercial interruption. All right. So where do I get my information? How do you know to trust what I am bringing to you? Because again, I am not licensed. I am just a person testing these things out and doing the research myself and bringing it to you. When I find something interesting, I will throw it into a search bar and then dive into that hole. So what I will do is you know what? I'm never going to bring you something. I'm never going to find something on a fashion or beauty magazine website and then just say, oh, let's put that in the podcast because, they said it on XYZ, so it has to be true. What I do is I take that information and I look it up here's where I go. I go to the Environmental Working Group. I just did a donation and they sent me this cute little zip bag. How cute, right? Beauty made better. So I go to EWG.com and they have what's called the Skin Deep Database. This is one of my favorite places to go first when it comes to ingredients. So here's what I suggest you do. Take something you use on a daily basis. Take your morning serum, for instance, and look at the ingredients. Excuse me. Look at the ingredients. Type it into the Skin Deep database. and it gives you a lot of information. It's very interesting. It gives you, like, on a scale of from green to yellow to red, carcinogenic wise, and it'll give you all of their accredited information and all of the links that they use to find the information that they found on that ingredient. And everything's on like a scale. So take one item out of your beauty wardrobe and search the ingredients and see what you find. It's so interesting. And then go to another one and another one. And sorry, I'm actually filling you up for hours right now because it's addicting when you're like, wait, why is that in my serum? I don't get it. Anyway, Skin Deep, love it. I also use National Library Medicine, which is a government site, but more specifically, the National Institutes of Health or National Center for Biotechnology Information. I do love reading those articles there. Of course, the FDA website. And I also jump over and find lots of published research papers from Ivy League universities. So I will always compare my notes from each of these accredited sites and articles and bring you my findings. But listen, always do your own research. If I say something on this podcast about an ingredient and you say I'm going to throw it out or I'm going to use this one because Lindsay said to use it, you know what? Do your own research. I'm doing my research. There is possibilities that I miss something or I skip something or something, do your own research. Bottom line. If you are, you're right, Tyler? if you are educated, that's the word. If you are educated in a topic that I am speaking about on Beauty Affair and I miss something, I miss an important point, or I say something incorrectly, please let me know. I would love to be able to fix, add, modify, whatever we need to do. I never want to put the wrong information out there for you. This is a learning experience for me as well as you. I am a regular mom that loves beauty, and I'm trying things for you and taking a little bit of my research and showing you. Moving on to the Who. Who can you expect to see on Beauty Affair this season? So just to name a few of my guests, the first being Dr. Alizadeh. Dr. Alizadeh of Cosmoplastic Surgery, he has offices in Jericho in New York City, is board certified by the American Board of Plastic Surgery. He is also the founder of Mission Restore, a U.S.-based health nonprofit that provides reconstructive surgical training in developing countries. And Dr. A is my plastic surgeon. He did my upper eyelid surgery, my upper blepharoplasty surgery in January, and I absolutely love his work. So he will be coming on. We will be talking a little bit about the tatas when he comes on, though. He's got some good tata stuff going on. Also, though, Mission Restore for the beauty event, the Beauty Affair event in May that I'm putting on, we are fundraising for Mission Restore. So I'm very excited about that, to raise some money for them. Another guest that I'm going to have on, and you'll hear me speak about a lot, is Sharon Grasso from Permanent Touch Cosmetics and Medical Aesthetics in Woodbury. She is a powerhouse with Cyton laser technology. BBL, Hero, Moxie. She is bringing back that porcelain skin trend. Ladies, break up with the sun. Porcelain skin is all the trend. And you can achieve that with Sharon Grasso and the BBLs. Love those skin treatments. Another guest I'll have is Filomena Abitino, RPA-C. My Mina from Boost Your Beauty, Medispa in Merrick. She is my favorite injector, my Botox and filler queen. So we'll talk about Botox and fillers when Mina comes on. We also have Noelle Karina from Noelle Karina Photography. She is actually, oh my God, she shoots boudoir sessions, ladies, and makes her muses feel sexy. I am doing a boudoir shoot. April 20th. I'm so nervous, so excited. Of course, I'll share pictures with you guys, but she's going to come on and we're going to talk about it. And one more guest that I want to speak about, but not the last that I will have this season, is Dr. Maria Hogan. Dr. Maria is licensed in acupuncture and Chinese medicine, and she is an old school friend from back in high school. I had her over for dinner. She's married to my old roommate. I had them over for dinner recently, and we talked about different things and different, let's say, ingredients that they use in Chinese medicine that I wasn't aware of, and so exciting. I've been adding them to my masks, my DIY masks and my hair masks. Oh my God, I love it. So we'll talk about that. Dr. Maria will be coming on. So that's just a taste of who you can expect to see. A couple of the topics that we will be discussing this season: makeup and Aliseo lashes. I love my Saint makeup. Expensive eye and neck creams, right? Because who wants to spend $200 an ounce and it doesn't work? We'll talk about skincare in so many aspects, because now at this stage of my life, skincare is one of the most important things to me. And, we'll throw in some fashion. I said Botox, fillers, some scalpel, the laser skincare treatments, and a whole lot of ingredients and supplements, beauty supplements. So speaking of, I would like to, we're getting to the end of this welcome episode, but I just want to give you a heads up. One of my favorite segments that we'll be doing this season, and most of them will, I believe, have their own episode, is Ingredient Bomb. And again, as I said, it's the reason that I came here, is doing all the research for the ingredients. And the things that I find are completely insane and mind-blowing, like completely mind-blowing, that I had to add this ingredient bomb segment to bring you all of this information that I'm finding. That's again, completely insane. So the segment will be me researching ingredients and bringing them to you. They will be, some of them I will be blowing up the ingredients. I'm hoping that I can bring you a solution to a lot of these ingredient bombs being blown up. But who knows? It could be a good, a bad, and a solution, or not. But I want to bring you the information. And that's kind of about it for today. Listen, if you want to dive into anything that I've already spoken about or mentioned, I will provide links for you below in the post. Wherever you are, there's a link somewhere. Or you can always go to beautyaffairpod, POD.com. I'm getting nasal here. We got to go. As always, please consult your doctor or dermatologist before starting any skincare regimen, especially if you have problematic skin, or if you are unsure that certain ingredients I speak about will work for you. Remember, beauty is personal. What works for one doesn't always work for the next. Please use your beauty products responsibly. And we have run out of time for our first episode of Beauty Affair, and I thank you so much for being here with me today. I love you, I appreciate you, and have a fabulous day. Follow, subscribe, like, laugh, love. Don't forget to share. This is Beauty Affair with Lindsay Aliseo.